I wanted to add just one more video here, so I'm going to pull up a previous quiz I showed you, and let me just show you, let me just do a calculated numeric. What I didn't show you on any of those previous videos were the math editor. So a lot of times you're going to want to use the math editor. So you might like write in, okay, calculate this value, and then you click on your math editor, and then it comes up here, and so maybe you want it to do something like cube root of 8 plus, and you can do a sine function, sine of pi over 2 or something like that, and then of course you can accept it. Now, one thing you need to be careful of, I've noticed a lot of times if I edit these, I have to click on them. If these have been edited, sometimes, see how this image is highlighted and the function's highlighted? Well, sometimes when you copy this over, like if I were to copy this, let's say I copied this to another spot, let's just say I copy it down here. Okay, now there, what I would do is I would click on that again, and then I would accept it again. Now that's just, that may be just going more effort than I should, but I want to make sure that this is read as an equation and not as an image, because if it's read as an image, it won't display properly. So always make sure you do that. So anyway, so you could just calculate the cube root of 8 plus whatever sine of pi over 2 is, and so let's see, sine of 0 is what, 0, so sine of pi over 2 would be 1, so the cube root of 8 would be 2, sine of pi over 2 is 1, so then you would put your correct answer in as 3, and then you could hit submit, and then that's a question there. So, and you can do this on different types of questions, like if you had, like say you wanted a multiple answer question, and let's say you said something like, which of these numbers are in the domain of, and let's say you want to use the math editor, and so you say you do something like square root of x minus 5, and so you accept that, and then you could just, then you go down here, and so you choose, like, okay, what's a number? Let's see, a number like 9's in the domain, right? 3's not in the domain of square root of 3 minus 5. 0 is not in the domain, but 6 would be in the domain. So I would choose that answer as correct, and then I would choose this answer as correct. And then I also want to allow partial credit, and I want to allow a negative score for incorrect answers, and probably want them in random order as well. And then you submit. And I didn't update. Remember, you have to update the partial credit when you do that. All right, so update the partial credit, and now enter, and now you got another. So I just wanted to do this, just a real quick video to show you that you could create, you can create all kinds of, just using this math editor, you can create all kinds of functions. So you can see here, some of y'all probably used this before, but there's all kinds of symbols, like if you want to create matrices, or if you want to create piecewise functions, if you need subscripts or superscripts, or if you need, like let's say you wanted to calculate a limit, so you could use that, and then you could say what's the limit, and then go down here and say x as x, and then you go over here and choose this arrow, the limit as x approaches 0, and then you go over here, and I'll put this in brackets of 2x minus 5, and then you can accept that. And then of course the answer of that of course would be -5, so you'd go down here and you'd put -5 into one of these as the correct answer, and then put distractors in the other. And again, so I just wanted to make sure that you guys were aware that you can use the equation editor when you create these questions. But again, make sure if you were to copy and paste this somewhere else, I think it's a good idea if you copy and paste it to then highlight it. See right now, see how it's got that line around it? To me, that tells that that's just accepted as an image. So if I submitted that, it would just think it's an image and it wouldn't read properly. So I'm going to highlight it, and then I'm going to click on this again, and then I'm going to hit accept. And now it's going to accept it, see, as a math editor function. So anyway, and then you could hit submit. But since I really didn't want that there, I'm just going to hit cancel. Okay, so anyway, that's all I wanted to show you on this last video.